Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We have the prayer and the pledge by Councilmember David Broussard.
Bow our head and say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Doyle.
Here.
Councilmember Natalie Lopez. Present. Councilmember Marlon Lewis.
Here.
Councilmember David Broussard.
Here.
Councilmember Deidre Ledbetter.
Here.
Councilmember Sherry Guidry.
Present.
Councilmember Dustin Swear.
Item 1 is public comment. We have no comment cards.
No, sir.
Having no comment cards, we'll move on to item 2. Madam Clerk.
Acceptance of the minutes of the May 7th, 2019 meeting as published on May 13th, 2019.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Lewis and a second by Councilwoman Ledbetter. Is there any discussion? Seeing, hearing no discussion, please vote your machines. Thank y'all. We have no persons to address the council tonight, so we will move on to item 4. Madam Clerk?
Resolutions. A, resolution declaring the low bid of the Lemoyne Company LLC as non-responsive and accepting the next lowest bid and awarding the contract to Southern Constructors LLC in the amount of $4,086,327 for the project entitled Teet Bayou WWTP Equalization Basin Levee Repairs 2019 in collaboration with Iberia Parish Sewage District Number 1, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all contract documents in connection therewith.
Do I have a motion? Motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Lewis. And now you have a letter in front of you. We're going to have a little discussion by our attorney. Jeff?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that ordinarily, when we have a bid opening like this, the city attorney examines this stuff and makes a recommendation if the question comes up about which bid should be accepted and which shouldn't be. In this particular situation, I have done work for the Southern Constructors people. I've done work for them individually. It's been some time since I've done something for the company. But after thinking about it and talking to the ethics people, I think this is one of those situations where I ought to step back and somebody else ought to talk to y'all about the bidding and advise you on that. And it's probably a situation where if they get the contract, I don't take new work for them, while I'm city attorney. So it's one of those ethical questions where, I don't want to get close to the line at all. So I have asked Dean Watney, who is the attorney for the sewer district, which is our partner in this thing, and he's been in, on all these discussions at the beginning, for him to comment and make a recommendation, if he would, to the council on their actions. So it's kind of an unusual thing, but I just don't want to have any issues come up at all.
Thank you.
So, as Assistant District Attorney, we give advice to the Sewer District Number 1. And so I have been on the information that's involved in this bid. And Mr. George Blavachet is here also. He recognized that there were some issues with the parent low bidder. And let me preface this by telling you, as probably Jeff has told you before, that the public bid law has severely curtailed the discretion of public bodies when it comes to these bidding documents and acceptance of bids. This has been to ensure a level playing field for the contractors and to give the best benefit to the public. Sometimes maybe it doesn't always seem that way, but it's to make the playing field level. So it has become very strict in what has to be supplied by the contractors and it has to be very detailed and responsive to the bid that was put out there. And we, Mr. Glavachet and has recognized, and I agree with him, that there are two issues with the low bid. One of which, and it may seem like a technicality, but that's what the courts have instructed us to do, is to look at the technicalities. One is that in the bid, Article 4, Section 100, in the instructions to bidders, required that the bidder submit the attestation clause that's required by Louisiana Revised Statute 38:2227, which is an attestation that there aren't any criminal records involved with people in the company. That attestation is required to be filed by law within 10 days of the bid opening. And the bid opening for this project was April 10th, and the 10-day period would have expired Monday, April 22nd, because it was there was a holiday, the weekend involved. So Monday, April 22nd would have been the 10 days. Lemoyne Company submitted the affidavit dated April 23rd, and it was submitted on April 24th, so it didn't comply with the 10-day period. There was a second defect issue, that the Lemoyne bid on the bid form, which is the Louisiana Standard Bid Form, with reference to number 25, they required a unit price for the estimated 35,000 yards of spoil material to be spread. Lemoyne and Company submitted the unit price as $82,000, and the extended price, in other words, multiplying 35,000 times your unit price would have given you the extended price, but the extended price was also listed as $82,000. So if the unit price were in fact $82,000, this would be a several billion-dollar bid. Unfortunately, we're not able to supply, according to law, any discretion that is not a right bid. We have to look at it according to the case law within the four corners of that particular document. So Mr. Glauchet, I believe, agrees that these two items would be fatal to that bid, and that in fact that low bidder would have been non-responsive to the advertised bid.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Anybody have any questions? No questions? Thank you. That was a good, clear explanation. We don't have any questions.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if there's any discussion, no discussion. Yes.
I just want to say, having been around lawyers for like my entire adult life as my career, I just, it's just so respectable that we have someone like Jeff. He said earlier he doesn't want to even come close to a line, and it's like it's just so nice and refreshing to know that the attorney that's on our team with us is just so responsible, so ethical, and like if I call the mayor about something and he says he talked to Jeff, and that he's like, he trusts his word. Like, if Jeff says it, you can take it straight to the bank, cash it, deposit it, take your money, and get the heck out of town. So, I just want to point that out, that, it's nice to be able to feel that comfortable sitting in this seat, because the decisions we make, I think sometimes people don't realize, we know that they can affect things 10, 20 years down the road. They can come back to haunt us, lawsuits and different things that we can not overlook because of negligence, but just because we don't have that education and that level of knowledge that our attorney has. And it's just so nice to be able to count on him to call his own self out when he knows he needs to separate and step back, just in order to be precautious for us. He does that for himself, but also for us, and it's appreciated.
Thank you. Well said. Keeps me out of trouble. Any further discussion?
Mayor, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Did it come within in the budget that
Yes,
we had?
on this bid, we're okay, within our budget.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Seeing none, please vote your machines. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, 4B.
Resolution rejecting bids submitted at a public bid held on Thursday, May 16, 2019 at 10 a.m. at City Hall, 3rd floor in the City Council chambers, with 3 general contractors submitting bids for the Bayou Teche Museum expansion in George Rodriguez Park, FPNC number 50-ML1-17-01. Following the open of bids, it was determined that all were over budget, and a recommendation to reject the bids was submitted by Paul J. Allen Architects, APAC.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Guidry. Do we have any discussion on this item?
Mayor,
Yes.
what was the budget for this project? Do you know?
$200,000 lower than our bids, roughly.
It was like 700.
Yes, 700 something. Right. I have David Allen here. David, why don't you come up in case they have any questions? But yeah, the bids were. We are gonna, under the recommendation of David and Paul, we'll be redesigning some things on the project and get it back out to bid. We're hoping probably 2 months, something like that, a month and a half.
That's correct.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Questions? Seeing no questions or comments, and I'll ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you, David. Did a great job. Tell your dad to give you a raise. Madam Clerk, item 5.
Appointment for a vacant seat on the Board of Adjustments. Resolution appointing Lyman Butch Thornton Jr. to serve on the Board of Adjustments as an alternate member for a term of 3 years, subject to approval of the mayor and the New Iberia City Council.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Guidry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Broussard. Do we have any discussion? No discussion?
Oh,
Yes.
is he here?
Comment? Yes, he is.
Right, okay.
Okay. Oh. He asked me about a check on my way in.
No discussion? Please vote your machines. Thank you, Mr. Thornton. Thank you for your interest to serve. We'll put you to work. Thank you. Madam Clerk, item 6.
Appointment for a vacant seat on the New Iberia Parks and Recreation Board. Resolution appointing Francine S. Garzotto to serve on the New Iberia Parks and Recreation Board to replace the unexpired vacant seat of Rockley LeBlanc, subject to approval of the mayor and New Iberia City Council.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Lopez, second by Councilwoman Guidry. Do we have any discussion or comment?
I would just like to say she lives on Evergreen. That's the cut off. That's the last street on the city limit. Right there. So I appreciate you being all the way at the end and still wanting to come in and help us out.
And she's helped us on quite a few occasions.
I know that because
She's-
my best friend lived there in
she's-
high school. and
She's served on many boards and commissions. Any other discussion? Please vote your machines. Thank you. Thanks for serving. Madam Clerk, item 7.
Public hearings. A, public hearing on introduction of an ordinance levying millages on the 2019 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by the city of New Iberia as follows. Millage, general purpose, 5.77 mils. Streets, sidewalks, and alleys, 3.45 mils. Public parks and recreational facilities, 2.96 mils. General obligation bonds, 6.83 mils. Debt service, 4.00 mils.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lewis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Guidry. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing and hearing none, I need a motion to close.
Motion.
Mr. Councilman Broussard and Councilman Lewis. Thank y'all. Madam Clerk, 7B.
Public hearing on introduction of budget amendment ordinance number 2018-2019-10, amending the ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of New Iberia for the year 2018-2019 to amend the budget for year-to-date variances.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion. Second.
Okay, thank you. Motion by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilwoman Guidry. Thanks for that. Do we have any public comment on this item? Hearing and seeing none, I need a motion to close.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Lewis, Councilwoman Guidry. Thank y'all. Madam Clerk, item 8.
Ordinances and budget amendments. A, adoption of an ordinance levying millages on the 2019 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by the city of New Iberia as follows. Millage, general purpose 5.77 mils. Streets, sidewalks, and alleys 3.45 mils. Public parks and recreational facilities 2.96 mils. General obligation bonds 6.83 mils. Debt service 4.00 mils.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Dahl. Do I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Guidry. Do we have discussion on this item? Mr. Broussard.
I want to make it clear that I am supporting the following millages. General purpose, 5.77 mils. Streets, sidewalks, and alleys, 3.45 mils. Public parks and recreation facilities, 2.96 mils. General obligation bonds, 6.83. The last one on the list, debt services, I am voting no for the half-mil increase of 4.00. Citizens of my district on a fixed income cannot afford this at this time. So I want to make sure we vote in all 4 of these. I really am voting only for that increase. So Mayor, next year we can maybe split them up and vote each one separate.
Yes,
so
sir.
the
It's
people
the
don't know.
general obligation bonds that, you vote no as the whole thing. You know
I
that it's a
understand.
package.
Yeah.
But the one you object to is the general obligation
Yeah,
bond.
that's why I made a statement to the people.
Right, right,
I'm
but not the
supporting.
debt service one, the general obligation one.
Okay,
That's
that's
the
the one
one
increasing?
Yeah, that's the one you don't like.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it's covered in all of them.
Not a problem.
But,
But you know it's a one vote. We vote for them all
yes,
together.
I
Okay.
understand. So I'm voting no for that increase.
Yes, sir. That's fine. Any other discussion? Yes.
I think we talked about this a couple times, and it's less than $1 a month, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
On your property tax.
Yes.
And so it was 5% increase, or half cent,
It's well, it's
cents.
5 mils.
5 mil increase,
5
right?
mil increase.
Okay, and that, it's less than $1 a month per
Yes.
home.
We have 11,000 homes plus all the
Yeah.
commercial businesses, you know, because they all pay
But,
taxes.
only if you own property
Correct.
is affected by you.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
But if you take all of the property, commercial and residential,
Yeah.
we are strapped to come up with $100,000 more a year to pay the debt that, you know, this city was obligated to years ago. And think about it, everything that we're doing, you know, from the police tax that we've bonded out, any of the things we're doing will live long past us. As Natalie said earlier about some other subjects, every decision we make, you know, gets paid forward, would be a good way to put it, because they're gonna pay. It is all part of it. We are a business that will outlast every one of us. We have to be responsible because we don't want to leave the next person in a bind, but this is, all these decisions, we pay for, you know, in arrears for other people and ahead for, you know, for others, but it's just how it goes. It is part of the business.
And Mayor, Mr. Broussard mentioned, we could come back out next year and take that half mil off if we find
We
our
can
finances.
adjust this, correct. This can be adjusted every year. We will revisit this millage, you know, these millages every year.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilwoman Guidry.
I just want to say that I received a few calls about this particular millage, the general millage, and I just want us to be, which I know we always are, is, to be transparent about what we're trying to do here tonight concerning our residents. And we also understand that small things do add up. 5 cents here, 10 cents there, $1 here, $1 there. My best example, and I hope y'all don't mind me saying it, but Cox Cable, 7 years ago, I started out at $19.99 and now I'm at $70. Netflix then went up, Clico has went up, the price of gas has went up, the cell phone bills has went up, internet has went up, and we all understand that here. Some of our residents are on fixed incomes, like Mr. Broussard had mentioned earlier, and we all understand that a few dollars here or there, $10 here or there, it does may or may not affect many of our residents. At the same token, all across the nation, the cost of living is not is increasing, and our income is not. On the other hand, I just want people to understand that when we have a debt, we've seen in the news throughout the nation and here locally, whenever you're not transparent and things like that, it creates some confusion and distrust with our residents. However, we all blessed here to be a part of a progressive and fruitful and a transparent administration. So I want to encourage a healthy discussion tonight, and also I want people to understand that we must create a track record for our creditors to look at, and they look at numbers and the bottom line. And the city is a business, but it's a business for the people, and that we want to demonstrate a fiscal responsibility with integrity, and we must show that we are credit worthy, and that our millages are set properly, and that we're not constantly dipping into our general fund for outstanding debt that has been inherited. So with that being said, I don't want to bore you all, but I just have to put that out there, that we are, as legislators and budgetary representatives, that we need to continue to make sure that we monitor our sales tax and use proraters and expenses and tax collection. Also, too, you all know that we're continuing to provide the proper services. This tax that we're debating about is about the sewer tax, but at the end of the day, we want people to know that we will pay our bills, whether it's an inherited tax or from the previous administration or not. If you take a look around, different entities, you have a big fiasco on some things, partly because either lack of communication or people not understanding what these particular numbers are about. So again, I know this city council have integrity along with the mayor, and we want to look like we're credit worthy so that we can borrow money for the future. So let's not just look at now, but also look at the future of our town. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Any further? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to clarify, because at a point when Mayor Pro Tem spoke, he said it went up 5 mils, but it's only 0.5 mils.
0.5.
Make that perfectly clear
Yes.
to everybody in the community. It's only 0.5 mils.
Correct. Thank you.
And mills does not equal millions.
No.
No, it's not.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote your machines. Thank you. Madam Clerk, 8B.
Adoption of budget amendment ordinance number 2018-2019-10, amending the ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of Iberia for the year 2018-2019, to amend the budget for year-to-date variances.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Guidry and Councilwoman Ledbetter. Do we have any discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote your machines. Thank you.
Oh, Natalie.
Oh.
I was adding numbers right here.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, item 9. 9A.
Items for discussion. A, Ms. Sherry Guidry to discuss repairs and/or demolition of property located at 510 West St. Peter Street, New Iberia, Louisiana.
You have the floor, Councilwoman Guidry.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. We're here tonight to discuss either the repairs or demo for this particular property. Mr. Jimmy, can you come up, please? Thank you, sir. I have a question. On this particular property, were there previous inspections, that were done on this particular property?
In at least 2 or 3 years.
Okay. And what did you find in your
Well,
inspection report?
A couple of years ago, they had a tree that fell, and we sent a letter for them to clean it up, but I don't know I don't think anything was ever done.
Okay. What about the structure or the dwelling?
The structure, it had rotten wood, I don't remember if any of the windows were broken, but the back storm door was open when I did that. Maybe a few plumbing issues,
Open sewer?
open sewers, yeah.
Is there any electricity going to the house?
No, there's no electricity going to the house.
Okay. Was there a letter that was sent out at that time for those previous past,
I'm sure there was,
okay,
but I don't think anything was done.
okay, all right. I did get several calls about this particular property, by several residents that complained. I've even taken calls all the way up until 9:15 at night on one of these particular days. The first complaint about this particular property, one of the recent storms on a Thursday, a resident close by this particular property suffered some damage to their vehicle and also to their electrical equipment on the house because a tree fell from this blighted property. It cost the residents about $700 to get this particular property, to get their things back in order due to the negligence of this property. Also, they're complaining about rats, possums, and other things coming out this property. Second complaint from another resident made a call to me about large rats. They were actually trying to catch the large rats themselves, but they were unsuccessful in doing so. And so on and so on. So, again, we want to make sure that we contact this particular property owner. And what would be the next step, sir?
We need to go do an inspection and send her a letter.
Yeah, we'll put it through the process, you know.
Go through the process, just like we do everybody else.
Okay, okay. All right, did you have anything else you wanted to add concerning this property?
Not really.
The city attorney?
Not really.
Okay.
We start with the inspection.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list and do an inspection, and then we have all our process, you know, where they get their chance to speak and they get notified, so we'll put it in the loop.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Good, thank you, Jim.
All right.
All good? Yes, sir, Mr. Broussard.
A while back you said you had some monies to maybe tear a few houses down.
Well, we're in the process.
And,
Jeff is doing our legal work on 13 houses. We have not gotten finished with that yet because the one new thing we did was combine a bunch of money from selling properties and say, boy, let's get aggressive and do 13. Maybe what we didn't think of is we dumped 13 on our city attorney with everything else. So he was kind of used to doing them 1 and 2 at a time.
Right.
So, but he's working on it, and that
Solid
will
work.
be coming back to us. That money has gone nowhere and is earmarked just for that.
Walton and Reynolds, I got people calling me, and good
We have people
calling.
calling me on quite a few of them, but they're in the process. They're in the process.
Appreciate it.
Good.
At least that's better news than we used to have.
Yeah, we at one time we had no money to tear them down, so you know we're making progress.
Good for the citizens to see we trying.
And you remember those kind remarks about our city attorney keeping us out of trouble? One of the most drastic things we can do is tear somebody's property down.
Right.
I want him
Without a clear
to take the
title.
time and do them exactly like they need to be done.
And I haven't done the work yet. I've started it, but I haven't finished. So I'll tell you.
But I'm gonna hang my hat on him when we get it, so
You running-
let him do it.
You run and exercise in the morning in front of a lot of them.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? No? Thank you very much. Madam Clerk? 9B.
Sherry Goodrich to discuss the dedication of the mini library at West End Park.
Councilwoman Guidry?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say that I think we got a date, an attentive date. I want to say is it June 5th at 10 o'clock? Is that right, Miss Sandra?
Yes.
10 a.m. in the West End Park. And I just want to invite everyone out to come see this small service project in action. A lot of times, you know, I've heard that this can't be done, it's in the wrong area or something's wrong with the location. But you know, I have faith in people and we have to start somewheres. And we can't keep making excuses on why we can't do things together and come together. as a particular community. So I just want to invite everyone June 5th, 10 o'clock a.m. at the West End Park. Mayor, is this going to be outside
Yes,
next
ma'am.
to it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the mayor is doing the actual hosting of this. We're there to assist, and I want to invite all the educators, all people that are connected with children, just to come out and see this one small example. It's not much, but it's something, and we're getting started someplace with encouragement for reading, not just for the children, but there will be some reading there for the parents and grandparents as well. Again, June 5th, 10 a.m., the West End Park. I'm excited about this small service project, and I want to thank all the persons that have been involved in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't think we have any other, Councilwoman's remarks. Here we go. I'll start with Councilwoman Lopez. Public remarks.
I don't have any. I don't have anything except, we just had some really bad weather, and the political signs are up, and up, like, already. I know we talked about it, Dan, but look, let some people do what they gotta do. But I would just like to encourage people, if we have a bad weekend, Bob, Tuesday, let's get them
Yeah.
picked up and at least standing up vertically. All right.
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Thank you.
Just want to say thank everybody who came out for the SOS Summit, the Youth Summit at Anderson Middle School. It was a success. Like I've said in the past, it's all about making an impact and bringing up awareness to some of the issues we have in our community. So we're gonna keep doing it. And again, thank y'all for coming out. Those who came out.
Thank you. Councilman Broussard.
Monday's Veterans Day, Memorial Day. Huh? What is it?
Memorial.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Okay, I'm all, but
You
it's
can
still
wear white
pertaining
after
to,
Memorial
it's
Day.
pertaining to the veterans.
It's
And
only a myth.
please, people get out there
Wear
when they
white all year long.
come visit Monday.
Okay.
I think at the ceremony they can have, I've been to most of them, and it's very nice to see all the veterans that paid their dues. We gotta give them the support. So please, Monday, Memorial Day, don't just count as a holiday. Remember the veterans.
Thank you, Mr. Broussard. Mayor Pro Tem Dahl.
Well, I was, Friday afternoon or Friday night, I went downtown and saw the car show. And thought about the mayor with all the old cars.
I was there.
And it's just the work and dedication these people do and they came to New Iberia with that group and really was, I was impressed, really. And I want to send out my congrats to Dustin Swear and his wife. They had a baby yesterday.
Yeah.
And they came home today, so good luck. That's two of them he has to, not has to, but I'm sure he's happy to take care of. Thank you.
That's good. Councilwoman Ledbetter. Correct me.
Yes, I want my constituents in the Jefferson Terrace area to know that I did speak to Mr. Staples, who's in charge of the project, and he said that it will be on our next agenda, so it should start shortly thereafter. So I'm very pleased about that with all the rain that we've had in the recent past, and summer's coming, storms are coming, and we really need that project. Also, I would like to invite everybody to our annual symposium that will be held on this Thursday, May the 23rd at the Slyman at 6 o'clock p.m. Our panelists will be our mayor, Freddie DeCourt, our assistant chief of police, Brandon Williams, who's in our audience right now. Also, our assistant superintendent of administration, Jennifer Joseph, with Iberia Parish School, and the supervisor of student services, James Russell III. Also, our city judge, Theodore Trey Hike, and Craig Matthews, Smile CEO. So, the sponsors for the event, Neighborhood Watch District 4, Iberia Parish NAACP, New Iberia Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta, and Smile Community Action Agency. The panelists will all be given opening time for a presentation, and then it will be opened up to the audience for questions and comments. So if you're not doing anything, also refreshments will be served afterwards. Come on out and, have a conversation with our panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. McGidry.
I don't have very much. I just want to remind everyone about the walking campaign to check on the elderly. We've ironed out a date, and it's going to be in June, so I'll be releasing that information very shortly. Finally, we got a date. It is sponsored by our Neighborhood Watch, and so far we have 20 volunteers that's going to be walking with us. Also, our Neighborhood Watch had to be moved back for June, our quarterly Neighborhood Watch. We had some people that did suffer some damage with their homes, some with some health issues, but so we're going to be back on track for June. Thank you.
Thank you. I have 2 items tonight.
Can I-
Both. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I got one
Me
of the
too.
panelists,
Okay.
and I must say this. I did ask our parish president, M. Larry Reshaw, to attend, and he has another engagement, and I asked late, so he's going to send Scott Saunier, his CAO, so he'll also be in attendance. So that's another. We have 7 panelists, so come on out.
Thank you. Natalie, you had something?
Yeah, I forgot, and I get in the moment, and things come to me. I just wanted to say, I don't know if we all know, but our political neighbor and brother, Ricky Gonsalin, his family this week, lost a family member, a young one that was in high school, and I just, would like to ask the support of our community, which I know they will, to, send their prayers and love to that family, because I know this is a really hard time for them when they already had a lot on their plate at this time of year.
Thank you. Thank you. I have 2, and they're both about our traffic and being safe out there. We have a DUI checkpoint this weekend, just to let you know that that's coming. And Officer Chambliss is on a motorcycle and he's writing tickets. Those are 2 separate things, okay? It is time. We said we would wait. We had said 6 months. It's been 10 months, but we are beginning to write traffic tickets. So I just want everybody to be aware of your speed. It is, we are trying to keep our community safe, watch the school zones, and, watch your speed. We do have a pretrial diversion program that will help some people that qualify, that's something new for the city. So just to let you know, please be safe out there, and that's all we want. We just want you to be safe. Other than that, we have our next meeting June the 4th, and I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I have
To
one.
adjourn.
I know, I have one more thing.
Oh,
When you said pretrial diversion program, I
Okay.
want to explain to the residents. That means if you get a ticket, don't call your council member for us to fix your ticket. If you qualify for a situation where it'll not go on your insurance, you will receive a letter. So please just be patient. We have nothing to do with that, and it's not really our avenue to hound the city prosecutor to give people fixed tickets. That's not what we're in the business of, and I know that's not something we want to start and have a reputation for. So please follow the protocol.
Thank you. Now I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
I gotta put that out there before it starts.
Thank you.
'Cause that's what